I remember last summer, I went back to China to see my old friends. I had a big party planned out at Papa John's, and I invited all my classmates. I was really excited about it. After I arrived, I looked out the airport window. From the window, you can barely see those buildings that were far away. The farthest the building, the more blurry it is. This started happening sometimes about 10 years ago. At the beginning, people thought that was just fog, but soon they realized that it is actually something worse. It's what we call the smog, air pollution. The moment I left the airport building in Beijing, I started coughing non-stop. I didn't feel anything or feel sick. I just feel like there's something in my throat that's making it really itchy. After a few days, I got better. The coughing stopped. I asked my mom why, and the answer she gave me is that I have breathed in too much smog, that my body cannot cough it out. So I just gave up. Looking up at the gray sky, it reminded me of a video I watched a few years ago. It was a talk by a famous journalist, Chai Jing, who was reporting about different kinds of pollutions over the years. After I got back from China, I found that video on YouTube and watched it again. The video has been banned by the Chinese government, so that means it stopped spreading inside China. People that don't have access to YouTube, they have been blocked too. People were angry about this, but they did nothing other than being angry. Now Chai Jing has been blocked. She's not allowed to make any public appearance. Then no voices have ever come out again. Is it over? We had to do something. Every year, because of the air pollution, the number of premature deaths is 500,000. And during a heavy smog period in the January of 2013, 27 cities inside China had increased number of emergency room patients from about 10% to 150%, mostly children and seniors. Every year, there are about half of the days where the smog is severe, that you don't want to go outside or you will hurt your lungs. I remember the winter that was 2 years ago. I had a few days off from school because of an uninvited blizzard. And I saw those posts by my classmates about how they also have a few days off because of the air pollution. So imagine half of a year in blizzard days where you can't go to your practice and out with your friend outside. Well, if you are willing to stand the freezing blizzard, or in China, it's going to be the way you cough and cough until your throat is dry. So inside the stuff you will breathe in, there are 15 different kinds of carcinogens. One of them is called benzoylpyrene. One of the strongest carcinogens all around the world, and normal people breathe it in exceeds about 15 times the acceptable standard. There's no choice for you to not breathe. Every adult breathing average 25,000 times a day. So imagine what it could be like inside your lungs over time. So this is a picture of a lung cancer's lung. She never smoked. As you can see, there's black stuff all over her lungs, and that is what she breathes in every day. Actually, the problem with air pollution has existed for many years. China has been such a rapid developing country. It needs massive amount of energy in order to keep it growing. People were talking about the global steel productivity ranking. They said it's China first place, China city Hebei second place, Tangshan third place, America first place. Even so, many of the emission standards for those factories were established, but the feeling into the pollution was still really strong.
那你见过真正的星星吗？
没有。
有见过蓝颜色的天吗？
见过蓝一点的。
有见过白云吗？
没有。
As a human, a living greatest gift ever offered were in spring. When you open the window, you can feel that breeze coming towards you along with the smells of flowers that are ready to bloom. When you're tired, you can just sit back down and take a deep breath, just relax. When the rain is coming, you can even taste that freshness of the air. When the fall is approaching, maybe you just want to pick a time and just be with the person you like and lay down, just let the evening sunlight gently land on you. In winter, you can see those kids running around while the snow is slowly drifting and falling from the sky. In her speech about the air pollution, the journalist Chai Jing has said, "To be frank, I'm not afraid of death. I just don't want to live like this." Based on a report by the Institute of Atmospheric Physics, most of the smog, of course, comes from human activity, and the vast majority of them comes from fuel and coal. Everybody needs fuel and coal. It's deep inside our everyday life. We need them to do all kinds of stuff. We need them to warm our house, to refuel our cars. Factory need coal to make stuff like steel. Well, we all need steel and we all need to travel on cars, but why only China is such a severe pollution as the outcome? So fuel is mainly used in cars, and as the country does such a rapid growth, there are average about 1 car every 7 people. And guess how many people are in China? About 1.3 billion. And the thing is, people love to drive. 34% of people usually drive to different places instead of taking a subway or bus ride. So imagine what it would be like if it's inside a huge city where millions of people live. There is going to be a traffic. And if you slow down, the emission is going to be twice as much. If you slam the brake, there is even more. There is another problem with the cars. At night, there are barely any cars going around, but instead, the density of smog is even higher. The cars are actually those big cars, trucks. There is indeed a standard for the emission factor of a diesel vehicle in order to reduce their emission and to make them clean. But the problem is people start to follow it. How many of you have heard of the news that Volkswagen cheated on the emission test? Right. So what they did is they installed software on their diesel vehicles to make them sense a unique parameter on a emission drive cycle set by the Environmental Protection Agency. And what that means is that they fraudulently pass the test with the help of a software. And that is basically what every car business inside China did. They put the certificate on the car, but the car doesn't actually meet the standard. There are laws, and there's definitely someone who has the right to control this, but actually nobody was doing it, and the law didn't mention clearly about who has the right and responsibility. So those unqualified trucks were never recalled, and those car businesses are just keep producing unqualified trucks. They don't have a choice. If a car business upgraded their car with higher cost, while other business didn't, the upgraded business is going to die instead. The problem with the coal are similar. China have just simply burned too much coal. The amount of coal they burn every year and what is coal other countries all around the world have burned add up. How did they burn so much coal? I believe you often see these 3 words at all kinds of places. It is hard to disagree on the fact that China is a really strong production power. Not to mention there are so many factories with excessive emissions. The problem are similar with the diesel vehicles is that even if you catch them, they don't necessarily get punished. Think about it. If China can burn more coal than the rest of the world, how many factories? What about the people? the workers' livelihood is just working as factories. You can't just shut them all down. The factories also refuse to let the Ministry of Environmental Protection to carry out inspections. Maybe they don't even know that that factory exists. The local government is also protecting those factories. One thing that was really embarrassing about the Ministry of Environmental Protection is that they have the right to just inspect, but they don't have the right to, for example, send the police and shut the factory down. It is indeed the government's fault that they didn't create a good enough system to run the country. Maybe the diesel vehicle and the factories indeed brought us a lot of damage. But that doesn't mean it's not your responsibility to make it right. This is for your living. At least we will do what we can. And I know that the best thing I can do is to spread the message that there is a problem causing air pollution, and to face them, we can't just complain and blame others. We must recognize our own role and start doing something. When you see a factory with excessive emission, report them. There are so many things we can do. As a student, the best thing we can do is maybe to try our best, and so we can figure out a way to reduce the emission while keeping the price low, or develop new energies that are less harmful, cheap, and renewable. We could also find a way to monitor every factory through technology. Technology, well, it is the best thing we can rely on when a country is developing. Technology can always satisfy us, even when our demands are going bigger and bigger. It is not just the best, but also the only way, I could say, that can help human beings in the future to ensure environmental protection. Earth is everybody's home, and we are all breathing the same air. The way you treat the environment defines everybody's destiny. There's no wall in the air. If there is a gust of wind, the smog can directly travel to other countries. The world is never perfect. But after all these years, what everybody has been always doing, and what we always do is try our best to make it better.